If you work ports, logistics, or compliance, this raid is a case study you can't ignore. A Michigan port director allegedly turned routine trust into corridors for a cartel, using scheduling tweaks and priority lanes that looked like normal efficiency. Stay with this breakdown of Operation Northern Breakwater. You'll see how everyday approvals became a Lake Michigan gateway, how casino chips laundered millions, and how investigators mapped invoices to vessel arrivals. We'll walk through the breach, what they found in that office, and how 620 agents closed a network that hid in plain sight. Before we move on, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and like the video. How do you hit 41 doors at the exact second when a single text could blow the whole thing? You start hours before sunrise and make silence a tactic. 3 staging hubs come alive under blackout. Teams split by badge. FBI evidence cores, DHS entry stacks, DEA dope squads, while Coast Guard detachments sit on the water with engines warm. Warrants stay sealed until the last minute. Radios run on encrypted channels with geofenced handhelds that go dumb outside their slice of the city. Nobody sees the full map unless they need it in that moment. The plan treats time like a weapon. Everything is synced to UTC down to the half second. A whiteboard at command marks go times in a grid that looks like an airline board, but every row is a door, a dock, or a truck bay. Assault packets are color-coded by mission type. Blue for admin arrests, red for forced entries, green for maritime intercepts. Each folder holds floor plans, breaker box locations, and a pre-printed chain of custody sheets so evidence logging starts while the hinges are still cooling. Rolling perimeter teams orbit each cluster to catch anyone who bolts when the first ram hits steel. They go at dawn for a reason. Most targets are at home. Circadian lows mean slower reactions, and fewer third parties wander into crossfire. Past joint operations on borders and container yards show compliance jumps when suspects wake to badges and commands, instead of a standoff that grows as the day crowds in. Fewer variables, fewer weapons already on hips. The effect compounds when 41 sites fire at once. No one has time to warn anyone else because everyone is the first problem on their block. The first breach sets the tone. Warehouse 7 sits with a view of the rail spur and the bay door chained from inside. A hydraulic spreader pops the seam while a parallel unit takes the alley and angles a shield on the loading ramp. 2 blocks out, a courier van idles at a light. A plain sedan tucks behind it and blocks the rear while a takedown team slides the driver out, phone bagged before he can drag the lock screen. Inside the warehouse, a pallet jack still warm. Field kits move in with colorimetric tests for brick samples, while another team pulls the DVR and a maritime AIS transponder from an office shelf and logs each serial number before they leave the room. Chain of custody never pauses. Laptops, sat phones, and chart plotters ride out in Faraday bags with tamper seals. Labels match the assault packet codes, so the lab queue knows which team collected what and when. Financial squads hit the business nodes at the same second. Bank accounts tied to billers get emergency holds under existing fraud protocols. And merchant IDs at casinos and freight brokers freeze mid-transaction. You choke the money so the people have nowhere to run to. Then the radios flare. 2 hotspots break out. One in a cinder block unit where a guard dog gives cover to a bad angle, and one at an emergency moorage slip where 3 men cut loose a skiff and jump on. Command pivots drones off a harbor patrol and paints the vessel with an IR lock, watching wakes that point straight to a fuel dock. Coast Guard throttles up and pins the slip from both ends while a shore team throws a tire deflation device across the access road to stop the pickup that would have trailered them out. By minute 23, the air thins. Command starts reading the words every planner wants to hear. Primary objectives secure. First tonnage confirmed. No mass escape. The network folds inward. Phones go black. Perimeters tighten a street at a time. And as the outer rings hold, a small stack takes a quiet hallway where nothing is moving but the second hand on a wall clock, the port director's office. Why would a port director file fuel pipeline schematics beside arrival notes and stack 14 restricted access cards like spare key fobs? The team steps into Dana Whitford's office and the quiet feels staged. A drawer slides and reveals banded cash that makes no sense for a salaried official. Above a ceiling tile, more bundles, a pouch with cards marked for secure gates, and 3 binders built like manuals. Each binder tracks tweaks to priority maritime traffic, down to 15-minute slots and waiver codes that shave time off inspections. On the inside covers, tabs separate berths, shore crews, and night shifts. It looks like scheduling. It reads like control. These pages don't talk about meetings or agenda notes. They map windows for emergency moorage that line up with clear nights and low tide, a combination that gives small crews the easiest offload with the least sound and light. Clearance protocols sit beside them, cut below safe thresholds by pre-authorization scripts that tell inspectors which checks to skip for throughput. The language is soft and professional. The effect is hard. High-risk vessels cluster at hours when cameras glare. Noise carries less, and over time, fatigue makes oversight a checkbox. The fast lane becomes obvious as agents trace the process end to end. Manifests arrive tagged as pre-cleared, signed off by the same two supervisors across different weeks. A call sheet gives inspectors word tracks, process as expedited, waiver applied, and secondary deferred. The berthing calendar is tight, compressing arrivals so 3 flagged ships stack within a 90-minute band when only one K9 team is on shift. Dock crews rotate in short bursts, preventing any one foreman from seeing full loads repeat the same pattern. Micro-scheduling is how you beat layered security without breaking a single rule in public. Risk engines weigh arrival times, documentation, and randomization. Move a ship into a low-density hour and its score falls. Rebrand a secondary check as already satisfied and the algorithm never sees a trigger. Spread the same task across 2 job codes and audit trails show work completed, even if the content is hollow. It's bureaucracy as a switchboard, routing alarms away before they can sound. A ledger tucked under the binders adds money to the map. Vessel IDs sit in one column. 72 hours later, large chip purchases at 2 casinos appear on the line, with cash out staggered over 4 days. It's an early link to Tier 1 laundering using night whales, gamblers with clean fronts who buy in heavy at odd hours, convert back to checks, and record a session loss on paper while netting washed funds in practice. Transactions align to offload dates that match the fast lane calendar. From there, the tiers step up. Cash from chip cash-outs feeds crypto remittance loops that bounce across exchanges with high withdrawal limits, then returns as vendor payments from shell companies that bill port consulting. Invoices hit the same days as expedited berths, anchoring a neat bookend from gate to bank. The running estimate in the notes pegs casino-linked movement at $163.4 million before the exchange loops even begin. Not rumor. A pattern you can count. Investigators follow the invoice clock and land on 37 shell entities with matching directors, shared mail drops, and retainer contracts that spike on offload weeks. The dates mirror the berthing grid almost one for one. That's the corridor in full. An operational route that moves cargo through quiet approvals, and a money route that cleans it with the calm of routine. With the corridor exposed, the camera moves outside again. The same calendar ties to warehouses with fresh pallets at dawn and casino floors with late buy-ins, and to developers booking ground leases that frame new logistics space as growth rather than cover. Trust-based systems cut both ways. The same approvals that keep freight moving turned into arteries for a cartel until coordination, data mapping, and hard locks on money and access close the flow. If you manage schedules, access, or compliance, audit the normal lanes. Check who holds credentials, when they were granted, and which waivers get used after midnight. Track patterns, not anecdotes. Routine shortcuts age into policy if nobody challenges them.